they're not giving me the results. It don't take that long to add up the result. Was it really like that big this time? And Rachel, she came over here and fucked you while you were asleep one time too. What the fuck? That's why she couldn't look at you in your eyes, because you knew this city was on some bullshit. These bitches love you, Chris. Like, they don't give a fuck. They're all like, you got bitches at every store. Every store you go to, a bitch gonna call your name. Did you realize that, Chris? Actually, I did not realize that till now. At the food giant, Rhonda, she calls my name. And Alicia calls my name. As soon as I walk in the door, hey, Chris. Miss Michelle calls my name. Miss Sarah calls my name. Family, bro, literally every fucking store. That's crazy. I did not know that. He said Sherman Clump. If we lose this shit to Jiraiya, bro, I swear to God, I'm gonna be pissed. That's how I know this shit was rigged for us to win. Team Minato. Because I ain't got the results yet for mine. That don't sound right, Itachi. Itachi. Okay, so now this nigga can't hear me. Okay, bet. Nah. I can't hear nobody. President Biden delivers remarks live. Let me see what this is about. Oh, that comes on in 30 minutes. Yep. I want to hear what Biden has to say.
Homicide rate last year went down higher decline than 50 years, and it's again going down this quarter by somewhere between 18 and 20%.
Thank you for that good work. You know, we talk about getting fentanyl off our streets, something.
And they tallying shit up.
To both sides of the aisle, everybody on Main Street. And you mentioned in your opening remarks that you put away head of a Sinaloa cartel, one of the kingpins there, drug pins. I sit on Homeland Security, and we know one way to get there is to take down these cartels, you know, put away the leadership. Can you explain a little bit about what else you're doing to go in that direction, to get these, what I would call terrorists, drug terrorists? How do we put them in prison? get them off the street so they won't be organizing and selling drugs, fentanyl, in our country.
So the DEA has done extraordinary work worldwide in order to track these cartels and to provide the evidence that has led to the indictments of the Chapitos, the sons of El Chapo himself, and as I said just last week, the chief Sicario, the assassin and protector of the Sinaloa cartel. I've traveled to Mexico several times myself. My deputy has traveled several times herself. The DEA group has gone as well to persuade the Mexican authorities to make extraditions in these cases. Specifically with respect to El Nini, I made the necessary calls. My counterparts agreed and they arranged for his extradition to the United States.
Thank you, sir, and I hope you continue the good work. Chairman, I yield.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Arizona is recognized for unanimous consent.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a few articles. One is the full transcript of President Joe Biden's interview with Time.
Objection.
Town Hall talking about the transcript from Biden's interview with Time is a mess.
Objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I would ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the Management Advisory Memorandum from the Department of Justice, Office of the Inspector General, 24067, May 2024, notification of concerns regarding the Department of Justice's compliance with whistleblower protections for employees with a security clearance. With that, recognize the gentleman from New Jersey.
Thank you, Chairman. Equal justice for all. You use those words. Like cases treated alike. You use those words. All people are treated equal. Let's just look and review a few things. Let's look at the classified documents case. One individual is Vice President of the United States, removes documents which he has no right to do, Joe Biden. He then removes documents also before he was Vice President as a U.S. Senator, no right to do that, doesn't have the right to declassify. Yet a special counsel is appointed, and the result of that is that, well, there's nothing we're going to do because he's a kindly older gentleman that has a bad memory and it wouldn't be a good case. And yet at the same time, a president of the United States who does have a right to declassify documents, removes them, keeps them in a secure place, has the right to do it because he was a president and he's indicted. Equal justice for all. Prosecutor Bragg, and I'm going to ask you a question about this, just your opinion. He ran for office saying he was going to put Donald Trump in jail before he saw all the evidence, before he knew everything about the case, before he knew anything. He ran for office saying he was going to put another human being in jail and ran on that as his platform. Do you believe that it's appropriate for somebody to run for prosecutor? And by that, also in Fulton County, Georgia, the same thing happened there to the prosecutor. Do you think it's appropriate? Do you think someone who's being interviewed for a position when they're going to be appointed, or somebody who is running for office and is going to be elected at this level of government in the judiciary should say what they want to do as far as putting somebody in jail before they've even seen the case? Is that appropriate, yes or no?
Your description of the Herr and Smith cases is inaccurate. I don't know whether your description of what the two district attorneys said.
Well, then you don't look at the news. Excuse me, Attorney General, because I only have a limited amount of time. Everywhere it was reported. It was, if you knew anything, you knew that Alvin Bragg and also, again, the prosecutor in Fulton County, Georgia, they ran on that. And that's wrong. That isn't equal justice for all. It's wrong, and this wasn't equal justice for all.
We all drinking water.
My rendition of what happened.
Ain't drinking that Deer Park water. Okay, I feel him.
Pretty damn accurate. I even put the word kindly in there. Kindly old gentleman, forgetful. It wouldn't be a good case for that reason. Those are all accurate. I want to ask you something else. Do you know who Jay Bratt is? I know that you do. He's a top aide to Jack Smith, and I know that you must be aware that Mr. Bratt attempted to pressure the defense attorney of a close Trump aide with a judgeship, if the attorney went along with Jack Smith's desires and his demands. Are you aware of that?
I know Mr. Bratt to be an excellent lawyer, a long-time career prosecutor, a person of high ethics. I know the issue you're talking about is disputed. Those facts are disputed in the district court in Florida, and it will be resolved by the judge in that case.
Yeah, and that's why the case was stopped, because it's obviously of concern. There's something there. Are you aware that on May 3rd, Special Counsel Smith himself acknowledged in the court filing that after the FBI seized evidence and its raid on Mar-a-Lago, that some of the evidence was altered, manipulated, or disturbed? Is that standard procedure?
I have not read anywhere where he said it was altered or manipulated. So again, I can't accept that characterization.
Mr. Attorney General, I want to be respectful, man. Are you
judge.
living in a bubble here? I mean,
I'm not living in a bubble, but
everybody saw it. Everybody heard it. Smith himself said it. That's why that case was stopped.
if you can show me where he said he manipulated the evidence, I'll have a different.
You don't like my word, but that there was some tampering, and absolutely he said that he would touch the evidence, and we don't know what level, and now Americans are concerned, God knows what level it is, and whether we'll really know the truth.
Yeah.
And I got a question about this. Former President Trump, as you know, is being dragged through a political travesty, and you agree that it's a travesty orchestrated by Alvin Bragg. How is it that a man, Matthew Colangelo, the third highest ranking individual in the Department of Justice, takes a pay cut
I love that.
and takes a cut in just, what it is he does for a living as far as prestige, to go and join that case? And I know you'll say you don't have the answer to that either.
I have the answer. I took an enormous pay cut to become an assistant U.S. attorney. Mr. Mueller took an enormous pay cut. Both of us as partners in
But
law
your
firms to
prestige
work for
went
the
up.
public good. Many people have a view about doing the public good and not caring about how much money they make.
I'm going to yield in a second, but we were lied to about Catholic churches. We were lied to about school board meetings. We were lied to about Russian collusion. We were lied to about the president's sweetheart deal. We were lied to about mishandling of classified materials. We were lied to about FISA, and I yield back.
Time of gentleman's expired. The gentlelady from Pennsylvania is recognized for unanimous consent.
Yes, I have a unanimous consent. Republicans have continued to misrepresent the Her report, saying that President Biden had a poor memory, and that's not supported by the special counsel's own record. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record an excerpt from the transcript of special counsel Her's interview with President Biden. I'm reading from the transcript on October 8, 2023 at page 47, lines 20 to 21.
Okay.
You appear to have a photographic understanding and recall.
Okay, baby. Okay, baby. I see her. I see her.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Attorney General,
You're welcome.
it would be inappropriate for you to opine on
Yes, I'm the
the
president.
nature of pending and active prosecutions, correct?
Yes, there's a Justice Department policy against making those kind of comments.
It's a long-standing precedent.
But I am, though, and I
Yes.
can't make that shit up.
The reason why I bring that up, I have great respect for my colleague from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I understand
Y'all.
he is not a lawyer by training. And the world needs good dentists, so it's nothing against his career choices.
That's
But I
funny.
would just simply say,
That's a low blow.
I find it shameful to have to endure, and I can only imagine how you feel about it, Mr. Attorney General, the lectures from some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle about equal justice under the law or adherence to the rule of law to a man who has spent virtually his entire career in pursuit of upholding the rule of law. You talked a bit about your
Can't beat
professional
that.
background.
You really can't.
You started at the Department of Justice as a line prosecutor. I know you served as a special assistant prior to that, but the bulk of your early career at the Department of Justice was a line prosecutor.
Yes.
Drug trafficking, organized crime, violent crime cases.
Yes.
You then proceeded to become the principal associate deputy attorney general.
Yes. Wrong title.
Long title, important job. And in that capacity, you oversaw a series of very important criminal prosecutions, including the prosecutions connected to the Oklahoma City bombing. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
You were nominated and you were confirmed on a bipartisan basis here in Washington, D.C., to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. you rose to Chief Judge of the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals.
I think that just meant I survived my colleagues, yes.
That may be, Mr. Attorney General, but what I can say with confidence is that you have a more distinguished record with respect to fidelity to the rule of law than any member sitting on the dais here today on either side of the aisle. And I appreciate your integrity, your leadership of the department, and to be candid, your patience during the bulk of this hearing, which of course has focused on virtually every issue unconnected to the bulk of the work that is done by our nation's premier law enforcement agency. I've been in and out of this hearing. I believe it's correct that you haven't gotten any questions about cybercrime, let's say, for example.
Don't start this.
Foreign espionage.
Don't start this.
I know during your opening statement you talked about the decisive action that the Department of Justice is taking in coordination with the DEA and the FBI against cartels. Very few questions about that today from my colleagues, unfortunately, unless I'm wrong.
You're right.
A litany of work that's being done each and every day at the Department of Justice that has a real impact on people's lives in terms of keeping our communities safe, keeping Americans safe. This was supposed to be, I thought, an oversight hearing for the Department of Justice. And unfortunately, it has descended into a lot of rhetoric about conspiracy theories and the like. I think it's a wasted opportunity to actually engage with you.
Baby, right beside him.
Your department.
I see you.
The
Look at the
issues
camera.
that the American people care deeply about. And
What's
so I will
wrong? Why is she...
spend the remaining
I see
amount
you.
of my time
Hey.
left talking about an issue that's deeply important to me, and I know an issue that's
Oh,
important to you,
okay, I
which is
see,
scourge
I
of
see,
gun
I see, I
violence.
see.
And the department has taken a leadership role under your tenure in the last several years, particularly as it relates to implementing the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which was a bipartisan bill that this Congress passed thanks to President Biden's leadership. And I wonder if you might
And she
just
said she pinky
opine
promised.
a bit, or expound
okay,
a bit
okay,
on
okay,
your
okay,
work
okay.
as it relates to gun violence.
Well, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act has been extraordinarily helpful in our effort to combat gun violence. It's led to substantial numbers of prohibited sales of guns to minors who the statutes prohibit possessing because of conduct that they have engaged in. It's given us the authority to bring cases for straw purchasing that's led to crime guns.
I knew it!
To,
I knew
gun,
it! He's on his phone now.
trafficking,
Hold on.
to criminals, and in those ways has helped drive down the numbers with respect to gun violence. We have set up crime gun intelligence centers so that our state and local counterparts can trace guns that are found at crime scenes to determine whether they were used by serial killers, by serial shooters, to help us find out, to run the DNA off of the casings so that we can find hits on those people and arrest them and prevent them from committing further crimes. There's a host of things that the department has done. But the principal kind of violence we're worried about in the country is gun violence. That's what causes the enormous number of deaths we face every year.
I thank you, Mr. Attorney General, for your service to our country, and I hope you'll relay the same to all the folks at the Department of Justice, and I thank the Chairman for his indulgence. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
But that's funny. Well, not funny, but it's like there's a lot going on that nobody knows. But that shit's there she goes, Andrea.
holes of the heart are for other people to fill. So...
Okay, so we did win.
Underworld.
Cause I seen them they started off with Ren, so yeah, we did win. They just can't believe that I called it.
Round one, begin!
You aren't getting You aren't getting away.
Leave it there!
Fire style, fireball. Be right there.
Water style! Water dragon jutsu! I can do it now, you hear?
Oh, you got a red bar. So it's delay on the block.
I'll handle this.
Fireball jutsu.
Water style! Water dragon jutsu! I can do it now, you hear? Summoning! Summoning! Boiler tail! I'll handle this. Teaming danger, tyranny boy!
Yep. Dismissed. Take care of the rest for me.
Yep.
Let's go. Please don't miss. I can see you. Gotcha.
I can do it now!
All set. Gotcha.
There! I'll handle this. Watch out! Water style! Water dragon jutsu!
Setting complete.
I can do it now, you hear? Here! Summoning jutsu! Sage Art, by Fire God's fan of flames! Water style! Water dragon jutsu!
No more running away.
All set. I'm up.
Be right there.
You do the rest. Bye. I'm up.
No more running.
Earth style, dark swamp. Here. Summoning jutsu. Sage Art, by Fire God's fan of flames. Thank you. Teaming danger, tyranny boy. I'll handle this.
Oh wow.
The victor has been decided. Round two. Begin.
No more running away.
Water style. Water dragon
Hit me or
jutsu.
what?
Here. Summoning jutsu. Sage Art, by Fire God's fan of flames. Teaming danger to overtake.
Setting complete.
Here. Summoning jutsu. Sage Art, by Fire God's fan of flames. I'll handle this. Water style. I can do it now, you hear?
Be right there.
Teaming danger, tyranny boy.
Fireball jutsu.
All set. I'll handle this.
Be right there.
Water style. Water dragon. Sheesh.
Please don't miss.
I'm up. Earth style, dark swamp. Here. Summoning jutsu! Seijo, fight fire god's fan of flames! The victor has been decided!
Thank you.
You do the...
All set.
Final round, begin!
Fire style!
Can't catch me.
Setting complete!
All set. Can't catch me.
Be right there! Fireball jutsu!
All set.
I'll handle this. I can do it now, you hear?
This can take a
Be right there!
Water style.
Got it.
Water barrier.
All set.
The victor has been decided.
Wind should have been way cooler.
And her album dropped. Good shit.
I don't know her. So all I'm saying is her music is cool.
Fuck you talking about?
I don't know this girl. The whole big brain.
Pick a card, any card.
Hardest out the east, somebody call my fucking bluff. Ever since I signed the deal, I swear to I've been acting tough. Still the same bitch, I should change to put a bad bitch in your cut. Take so dark up on this demon. You
Really?
can't even see the guts. Capture shit, take a risk. Back on, got my pocket stick. This shit on the floor, oh, I ain't never had to wait on shit. Big Red run the A. Ain't no need for host of politics.
You already know, big. You know I'm big, bro. What the fuck? I see no bitches.
Phillies got my lungs switching. My brother doing a bid in Fulton County, but he's still rich. Bitches telling lies and chasing clout. You ain't no mad bitch. So my nigga practice way he preach, cause he ain't shit. I'm on BJ's in the winter time. I came from the east side. Shout out to my fucking CEOs. Now worldwide. I'm the one who turned these bitches up. They wanna bring me down. I be niggas vibes. I'm on my shit. I ain't gotta come around. Hardest out the east. Somebody call my fucking bluff. Ever since I signed the deal, I swear to I've been acting tough. Still the same bitch. I should change to put a bad bitch in your cut. Take so dark up on this demon. You can't even see the guts. Camera taking shit. Taking risks. Back on, got my pocket stick. This shit on the floor. Oh, I ain't never had to wait on shit. Big Red run the A. Ain't no need for host of politics. I gotta pick no side. I'ma crash by who I came in with. Shaped in this motherfucker, man. I'm just reminiscing on all this shit that I wish I could go back to. I'm just a youngin' from the east, made it out, but I can't take it out of me. First one popped it out of my apartments, everybody doubted me. Walked the sandbox with the same gang that I'm with up on my feet. Auntie pinching me in church so I can watch the pastor preach. Watch my brother paint the city, now I'm screaming R.I.P. Bitches that I knew since kids, the same ones that envy me. Roaches running across the floor, feds kicking in the door. Feel like I owe it all to Section 8, they kill my mama strong. God forgive me why I dropped this back, them niggas made it wrong. I put bitches out my praise and put them back up in their zone. My daddy left when shit got hard, but I don't blame him for him. So when he came back in my life, I forgave him for it. When I get that bag, I'ma make sure that I throw him something. For all them times he had it, he can't do, I ain't had to wait on nothing. Hey, I be having to thank God for my daddy at all times. Cause it was like a time when he left. He was going through some shit, he ain't really know how to, you feel what I'm saying, face his problems, then face his kids, shit, he left. He came back, shit, when he was able to pick that shit up, though, I was ever respected for it. Trying to work it out so I can get my family straight. They know I got the check, but they ain't checking on my mental state. Yeah, I'm rich.